consistently, you lose. They have great out of shield game, they have great traps, and they have to deal with the rushdown. That is Krom. You were right. We're going to be seeing Krom here in game number 1.
And yeah, well, definitely we'll see how both these players are going to find their openings against each other. Again, this could be a fairly solid time for Krom just because of how fast he is. He's got those big, strong disjoints. But as much as you can find a way in, you still got to deal with a Pac-Man who's going to be trying to find ways out repeatedly, and they'll get out of there.
Yeah, especially with the Galaga in hand, because every time you see that, you see a potential of like 80% coming in, and that's why you got to back off, and that's why you see Mr. R immediately disengage anytime he sees that type of situation. It's like, look, if I see item, I'm out.
Yep. just wait your time. You know, he'll throw it away eventually. Pac-Man's love to throw fruit, and eventually they're gonna try and get something going. Oh my God, he just barely missed that forward smash.
That would have been so good too, because even though Mr. R wouldn't have died there, you can very easily chase a Krom off stage. And we're gonna be seeing Mr. R do that a lot. He's gonna go for down air to try and break that, to get it to just fall directly in front, so he keeps Pac-Man from running forward. As we already saw, Mozai has really good tech chases, so you want to keep him out as often as you can.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just barely missing that forward smash.
Oh,
but nice read. All right. Oh, the armor. The armor.
That up B is so good to get to this day, like 20+% off of an up B out of shield, and you have to respect that. Luckily for everybody, it doesn't kill the same way that Ike's does, but that does.
Listen, that's the thing. If Pac-Man's got Bell in hand, right, and he's off stage, you have to keep in mind that he can throw that through the stage. Like, not like the charge. I think when it's charged, it'll bounce, but if he can just toss it, it'll go through the stage. And you have not, like, you just got to be aware of the angle that the Bell goes at, because you can get caught up and lose a stock just like that. But Mr. R already back on the offensive, taking the percentage lead here.
Yeah, Mr. R very aware of where these jumps are going. He recognized he wanted it out, and he's like, no, I am going after you. This is exactly what Krom has to do. You have to smother your opponent, especially on things like the sledge trap here. You need to win out. The up B on the reversal of the second hit affair. That was smart. You wait for the second one, because Pac-Man could do many of those off of the same aerial, and they stay very floaty, so it's very easy for him to convert once again.
Wow, that forward air actually going through the Galaga, actually allowing Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, excuse me, Mr. R, to take that, get that hit, put that damage, put Pac-Man off stage. But here we go, Mozai trying to get back on the offensive, 68% now. Gonna get hit for putting down that hydrant. This is looking a little bit dangerous here.
Oh my goodness, and that was so cool. Like, just barely missed the F tilt on the neutral getup, trying to react to the 2-frame, but still covers it with the back air. Mr. R in a pretty good position, and if I'm Mr. R, I'm doing exactly what he's doing right now. Almost dying. I don't think he's making that back. I'm pretty sure he's getting covered by everything. Yeah, you go off stage, you get the fair, and there is zero chance that you make that back. There was literally every obstacle put up by the construction site and said, this is a work zone, Skip.
Listen, that's the type of stuff I love seeing, because I'm like, you know, playing against Pac-Man might not be as fun, but watching Pac-Man, just watching that entire scenario just go off, I don't know. I get so excited, so happy watching it.
I mean, Mozai has just consistently impressed me every single time with these tech chases, with the traps, and consistently boxing with a character as scary as Krom. As you can already see, looking for the grab, unfortunately whiffed it heavy, but didn't take too big of a punish.
Yeah, that's like one thing, is like there are some options that they are kind of like, I feel like they're telegraphing, like they're going for, and Mr. R is just ready for it. And again, Mr. R is a player, a top-level player in the world. You kind of need to be a bit more on top of your P's and Q's here, because they will punish you for any misplay.
Yeah, I think that's what's so crazy about Pac-Man players. Like, where most of these games you have ABC, like it's a rock, paper, scissors game, Pac-Man kind of stacks. It's like, okay, but I'm adding 1+2 into the mix. Like, I'm adding equations you didn't expect. And
you get that one annoying kid who's like, ray gun.
Yeah, just overcomplicates the game and just ruins everybody's time. But Mr. R is in a position where he could possibly find a jab fair soon. As we see, he's trying to look for something near the ledge. But Pac-Man, Mozai keeps him out, keeps the pressure on, and one of those F smashes or a back air read, especially off of a bell, that is going to be the game.
Ooh, they actually went for the key to actually pop off the hydrant immediately, and they were okay, gonna catch the roll in, and Mozai, the mix-up with the melon. That thing goes so slow, and people are just not ready for the change-up. It's literally, Pac-Man is a baseball pitcher. He just threw a change-up at you, and you're swinging because you just don't know when it's coming at you. That's
literally
insane.
Literally said floater. Just like Eva's pitch out of it. And you know what? That's the thing. You said it perfectly. Just caught him with the mix-up. Pac-Mans need to hold on to their traps a lot throughout the set. They need to constantly just confuse you as the set goes on and hold on to a lot of the kill options. We never saw the melon really used until the very end, where it mattered the most.
But yeah, man, honestly, great stuff from Mozai. But Mr. R, I expect a bit of a change here. Maybe a bit more aggression. Maybe not trying to calculate things as much. Because sometimes you just gotta have to go in on Pac-Man. Just try to let them know who's boss.
I feel like every time we have said that in the past too, Pac-Man's just like, here, give me. It's just, they're so ready for you to run up on them because they have the fire hydrant in the way. They have these items in the way. They're waiting for you to roll in, almost getting the Galaga there. But this is exactly where Mr. R wants him to be, holding down this ledge and see if he can actually get anything out of it.
Hey man, like we said earlier, self-proclaimed best ledge trapper in the world, but they are good at it. They really are legitimately good at it. We've seen a few options now. They'll run up, they'll jab a couple times, just try to see if they can bait you into an option. And we've actually seen them dash away and ready for a forward tilt, ready for a grab. Like right there, just waited for the shield, got the Jair, and almost took the stock for it.
Yeah, excellent bait, just like putting himself in, kind of stuttering into position for that get-up attack to get the hit. Unfortunately, didn't get the kill, and now Pac-Man holding on. This is exactly what you don't want. Pac-Man with a Galaga at ledge coming in and immediately grabbing you, and Mozai has just been so good at just holding on to stocks forever. And I think, honestly, Mozai is probably going to walk away with the first one because Mr. R wasn't able to capitalize on that first stock on that ledge.
I know Mozai didn't get that, but the setup they had there by using the hydrant to scare Krom off the platform and then throwing the bell afterwards to cover the backside of the platform, just barely missing Mr. R, was actually really sick. Nice little setup. Oh, they're not gonna be able to capitalize there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Mr. R was maybe going to spot dodge directly in front of him, but Mr. R has missed out on a couple of these jump reads, and that time tries to go for a 2-frame read on the neutral get up with the F tilt. Still not going to get it. Unfortunately, jumps, instead of hold shield, directly into that, and I mean, this is extremely close here as the first stock finally goes away as we reach the 5-minute mark.
Ooh. Okay, let's see if Mozai can find a way to answer back here. Throws out the apple, gets the hydrant hit, not going to find anything else. Hasn't taken any damage on the second stock quite yet.
Yeah, you got to hold on to this lung spot, so you need to get some answers in, get that big damage. Falling up air is a way to do it. Unfortunately for Mr. R, the rage was a little bit too high to get the follow-up on the up B. If we were any closer to that ledge, that might have just been a double SD attempt.
Quite possibly. And there's the apple. I'm gonna send you straight up. And that's the thing that I think is so fun about Pac-Man in general, is all the different fruits. Like, not only do they have different strengths, but they have like different angles or different properties in general. Like, neither of them are really the same. Maybe like the cherry and the strawberry is just like a little stronger, but like other than that, they all do like relatively different things. It's just really neat to see.
Constantly keeping you on your toes, makes you think about stuff like for so long. And as you can see right here, once again, the out of shield game is so good for both characters, but amazing for Pac-Man, who gets around all that, gets a big damage in. We're pretty much just, we're 1% off of like a perfect even, as finally a whiff grab punish comes in.
I don't know how many grabs that Mozai's actually landed in this set. I mean, I think just about all of them's whiffed, and he's gotten relatively punished for it. So they do have to clean that up just a little bit because Mr. R is looking for those attempts.
Absolutely, yeah, and then now with Bell in hand too, yeah, you better be careful. We're gonna be switching it back up, but just, oh my god, Mr. R getting hit. Like, Skip, what about the approach from Mr. R? Like, it's been really good so far as we see the F tilt finally come off. Now I'm gonna switch it up. What about the way that Mozai has been playing? It's just been so impressive to you so far.
Honestly, just the fruit options in general, just knowing what fruit to use and at what point in time. Like, we saw the apple come out really only one time so far, but he's landed 2 of them in a row to be able to close out a stock off the top, right? Just, we saw that melon closing out game 1, right? We've only seen the melon used once, and it was at that one point where it changed up everything that just caught Mr. R off guard, giving Mozai the game. So it's just knowing what fruit to use at what point in time, depending on what Mr. R is trying to do. Like, that is honestly probably my favorite thing I've seen so far.
Yeah, and doing it excellently at that. But right now, Mr. R is finally trying to get back in, trying to find that falling up air, continues to put the pressure on, finds the back air. It's just still very much survivable windows for Pac-Man at the ledge. You're not really going to get jab buried at that point, but another 10% will end up leading to a jab bear attempt that will probably take the game. So Mozai needs to try and get in center stage ASAP.
Okay, he's got Galaga and repocketed here.
What is the length on that up tilt? That does not look like it's supposed to hit through the platform like that anytime, but it keeps finding its mark as an anti-air option that you don't expect. It don't get too much off of it, but it's definitely an annoying move when you're trying to get like a falling up air through the platform.
You're talking about, Pac-Man?
Yeah.
So, like, actually with Pac-Man, oh, wait, he's not going to be able to convert off that I'll tell you what I was going to say afterwards, but right now he's got that hydrant in place, right? Mr. R is at risk of going down 2-0. Ooh.
Oh, and then actually, like cycling through the items helped keep the stun just a little bit longer. Kind of kept Mr. R from pushing in as soon. Back air attempts coming in from Mozai, but the back air is also meant for Mr. R as he tries to find him. Mozai taking his sweet time off stage. You got plenty of recovery options.
Oh,
but
that's
you gonna get by this? Yo, I'm so sorry. I have to say it though. Self-proclaimed best ledge trapper in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Mr. R accidentally goes a little bit too hard for that ledge trap and gives up a game here to Mozai.
Oh man. Well, so what I was gonna try and say here. So with Pac-Man up air, I don't know if you know this. It's something most people don't know, but if you actually drop through the platform and then up air immediately with Pac-Man, you actually just stay back on top of the platform.
Yeah, you know,
because of the way he shifts his body and everything.
Yeah, oh my goodness, what a great way to start damage off early. But yeah, I mean, you're right. And also, there's so many different mix-ups that you have to worry about from Pac-Man too. Like the way that he kind of shifts around, he kind of like boxes out a shield. Currently getting boxed a bunch and getting called out on a lot of aerial attempts here. Let's see if Mr. R can have a nearly perfect stock, because he sure needs one after the way that last game went.
Hey man, the R is about to stand for rage because he's probably angry the way that game 2 ended. And it looks like he's starting it off like that, but oh my goodness, Pac-Man going off for damage on their own. And it looks like they're kind of stalling out the tempo that Mr. R was setting in the early game here.
I mean, this is looking like some after bracket ramen time pretty soon, because if he keeps this up, he's going to end up seeing himself in losers where a lot of people are ready for him. And right now, Mozai is chilling with a 2-game lead, but this is best of 5. This is Mr. R. We're very used to seeing how consistent he has been time and time again. Let's see if Mr. R can like make the run back, because I can definitely see this going the distance in game 5 if he can somehow figure out Mozai, which currently he's not.
Just high enough that the up smash wasn't going to connect. And the other thing I do really... Oh, that was strange. The thing I do want to see Mozai clean up, again, is these grab attempts. He did get a grab not too long ago, but that was kind of set up for him. But there's these other, like, stray grabs that he's just missing, and he's taking so much out of it. He's really got to clean that up if they want to make sure that they put Mr. R away.
Ooh. Yeah, much like his ESS, you got to make sure you're punishing the whip grab windows out of a Pac-Man. It's one of the few times he got him, but good job getting that back air. And Mozai going off stage 169%, misses out on the top portion of where the up B would have been to get the KO, because that doesn't have a hitbox. But if you miss-space it and Mr. R has a really well-spaced up B, he's gonna get the sword out before you get the hit in.
Yeah, we saw that apple attempt right there, trying to get Mr. R off the top blast zone. And wow, just sitting on the platform for a little bit, just waiting, and then just coming down with a forward air. It wasn't anything crazy, but just getting some damage, man. Just kind of letting them know, hey, I can move into your face at any point in time. But Mozai gonna be able to answer back, taking the stock with that back throw. Trying to put down some more damage here, trying to even things up, dashing back with a forward air, dashing back with a forward air. Hey, if it works, keep doing it.
Hey, exactly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no reason to consistently change something that works so well, especially the out-of-shield options for Pac-Man. And right now, calling out these jumps from Mr. R, just kind of staying around the platform as okay, I'm gonna go for a read. And then what an answer to that. It's like, I am very sick and tired of you just stutter stepping up to me, so I'm gonna smack you in the face with a forward smash.
For sure, for sure. All right, Mozai trying to find a way back. Honestly, even game now.
Yeah, I mean, also, kill power works in favor of both of them. The forward smash from Pac-Man, incredibly strong too.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. R can't be comfy at ledge as he tries to look for a jab bear, and you see Mozai trying to... I think Mozai was waiting for a water jet to push Mr. R towards him there and catch him slipping, but unfortunately, the fire hydrant disappeared.
I think, yeah, okay, I was about to say, I think he had Bell in hand, and he was trying to look for, not necessarily a jab reset, but I think he was trying to catch him with the Bell immediately and just wasn't able to find it. Ends up losing the stock there. Great parry on the first hit. Still going to get the second one, though. 106. Yeah. Should be taking the stock relatively soon. See if they can get it done.
Yeah, this is borrowed time. As you see, another grab attempt to try and force Mr. R off stage. The up B is going to try and get Mozai out. He's trying to cycle, try and find any item that he can. You know, you got plenty here that can work for kill options, but it doesn't matter. Oh, that fire hydrant sent those cherries flying so fast. There's plenty of kill options here still for Pac-Man, though. Speaking of which, we might be seeing one that whipped, and Mr. R is keeping this up, still barely taking any damage on this stock.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, these grabs are absolutely killer for Mozai. He's not landing like any of them. He's gotten like 1 or 2. The grab rate so far, like successfully, it's looking like Smash 4 Pac-Man with the way he's not grabbing anything at the moment.
Yeah, oh my god, that was that move didn't work at all in that game.
It didn't. It was the worst move in the game.
Like, pretty much, like, Mozai put 126 or so on Mr. R for free. But since Mr. R's taking that stock, Mr. R's taking maybe 10%, and he takes the game. Forward smash finds its hit there. That was like 3 to 4 forward smashes to found the target, and that is going to be Mr. R getting himself on the board after what has been a pretty funny set so far, but he's here to win, and let's see if he can continue to make the adjustment skip.
And it looks like we're going right back to small battlefield here, and honestly, I think this is a really good stage, but Mozai, they just need to clean up those grabs. I mean, the game could have been that much more dominant if he landed even half of those grabs they threw out, right? Like, who knows how much it would have changed into Mozai's favor. I know we saw a 2 stock, but still, how many grabs were missed?
Yeah, it sucks because like in a lot of those positions, you know, if that grab lands, that he looks like a genius, right? But it's just the nature of having a character with a tether-based recovery, regardless of what the animation looks like, it's still the same thing, and you have to just like it's one of your few punish windows. You want to make sure you're capitalizing on that every time. I've been really liking Mozai's traps. They've been on point. The fire hydrants have been good, and now we're seeing a significantly wider stage here in PS2. So now Mr. R is going to be forced to have to hunt down Pac-Man a whole lot more when Mozai is not comfortable with any of these neutral setups, and then he just takes 24% for existing as the match starts.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit unfortunate, but from what we've seen from Mozai and Mr. R so far, at least, you know, in the first couple games, or actually even in game 3, technically, Mr. R is going to get that early damage, and then Mozai just grinds it right back. So, I mean, we'll see if they're able to get that going once again.
Yeah, I've been loving the back and forth between them. Like, the back and forth has been so good, so often. They've been boxing a lot, and I think Mozai just plays correctly to when you're hyping up Pac-Man before the set.
Oh man, no, absolutely 100%. Like, I know we do see the lame game plan for Pac-Man: drop hydrant, charge fruit, right? But it's all the small stuff afterwards, right? How is Mr. R going to get around the hydrant? Like, what are they going to do to try and put this pressure on? And they're kind of just allowing Mozai to get a lot of this stuff for free, which is allowing to big damage combos like we just saw right there.
Oh, they're calling out the jump once again. Mozai's been very good at consistently calling out jumps, and that is such a scary trap because you make it look like you're going to get a whip grab there, right? But if the fire hydrant goes off, it pushes the bell into the opponent, so you end up running up and trying to get the hit. But now the F tilts are coming out, and Mr. R has got the ledge trap once again.
How did you react the first time you saw like Z drop Bell into the hydrant and it just fly across the stage?
Well, the first time Kiwi did that, it actually broke the system because light ran right through it, so everybody in the venue was very confused. But the down air doesn't find the mark. However, the air dodge does take forever to come down. You can catch that, but misses the air dodge up to the side of the stage with that nair attempt as well.
That was really unfortunate, man. Just falling out of that downer, that would have been a stock killer, too. Ooh, what are you doing? Oh, they had to have been a misinput. Unfortunate.
Yeah, 100% was a misinput. Definitely, probably tried to go back and go for an item cycle, but instead accidentally hit side B. And that is something, if somebody gives it to you, you take it. Regardless if that's a misinput or not, you capitalize on that every time.
Ooh. All right, well, let's see if Mozai can find a way to turn this around because Mr. R looks like they're starting to get that momentum, that tempo behind them at the moment. Yeah, okay, not gonna be able to close out that stock, but yeah, this is really starting to become the Mr. R show. You do not want to go to a game 5 with them taking the last 2 because that's a scary moment. You know, that feels bad.
Yeah, and you're saying it right, like pace control, having the tempo in the game is so important against a Pac-Man because Pac-Man loves to chill, they love to hide. There's no reason for them to have to approach too much because you come to them and you give them the stock. That was such a smart just turnaround saying, hold this.
Yeah, Mr. R getting sent to the dentist, that star screen KO. But we're gonna have to see if Mozai can continue to put this damage down because Mr. R just not letting up at all. Starting to get the ledge trap. Okay, great spot dodge. Oh, won't be able to follow up with the orange. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that was almost such a good tech chase that we could have seen out of that. If that orange got in, you could have probably saw some fairs. But Mozai slowly starting to work his way back into the game. Very decent deficit of percent, but this is not something that is unsurmountable by any means because there is currently a Galaga looming right there, but that time it did not hit the mark.
Okay, there we go. Another hydrant being placed. Gonna trade with a back air and a forward air. So the option is, it's not looking too bad. I know it's 114 to 72, but with the way that Pac-Man can open things up here, ooh, get it again!
Do it once, no, do it twice! Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That was so good by MoDzai right there to call out the air dodge once again and capitalize on that kill. And now calling out everything. He's going to be looking for the ledge trap. You know he's hunting for that forward smash very soon.
You see this 71%? This came around because he landed 2 grabs. Finally landing the grabs. That just goes to show the dominance that Pac-Man can have when you actually land your grab. And MoDzai's starting to get it. Woo!
MoDzai follows the knockback from the belt, but down there is not it just yet. Though that was so smart because that could have absolutely caught a 2-frame that would have killed. But Mr. R finds the back air. Mr. R is trying to get back into this game, needs to find an F tilt like so at the ledge, which he has missed twice. And then he goes for the forward air instead of the forward smash or down air. So that actually gives Mr. R a little bit more time in the game, Skip.
Yeah, this is a little scary. Okay, forward tilt. All right, but 125. That's about half range right there, which means Pac-Man could be in a lot of trouble. MoDzai needs to clean this up as fast as possible. Stop messing around. Probably should have gone for that forward smash when you landed the bell earlier. And oh, the melon tried to go for it once more.
When Pac-Man players start running up on you and standing in front of you as you move, it is so scary. But Mr. R looking very scary as well. Not being too afraid of the potential back throw that can happen, that can end his stock. He needs to be very careful on his route, because if he does not, we're looking at MoDzai possibly with the upset, trying to find a bell. But Mr. R is currently still juggling and he has the ledge trap here.
That could have been the game if he landed that forward smash just back a little too far. Was probably hoping for a roll in or something. Oh my God, MoDzai, you have to close this out as fast as possible because this is getting dangerous.
And this is Mr. R ready to keep himself in the game. Mr. R now being boxed off stage. MoDzai, oh, the apple just missed and bounced right over the head of Mr. R. Literally looking like Neo from the Matrix, just kind of dipping out of the way. But a key is there. If there is a big mistake from Mr. R, that is misses him again. Somehow, some way, none of these attempts are missing every time, and Mr. R is still in the game.
He's still trying to get this key in play. Okay, gonna get the nair, sending him the opposite direction.
Oh my God! All right, he gets the shield up on that too. Pac-Man MoDzai trying to find any back air, anything to work. But as you get into these situations, the best of the best are really good at making sure that they know you are looking for the kill and they dodge it. Mr. R looking for a potential read here at the ledge. Can he find the forward smash? Can he find the jab? He does not. MoDzai misses the back air. It is still going. Skip. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm losing.
I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous for MoDzai. Oh! That's gonna be it. Oh my God, we're going to a game 5. That's so unfortunate. Shout out to Mr. R though for grinding that out, only taking like 25-30% that entire final stock.
There is just nothing but good things to be said about how Mr. R played that last stock, because he quite literally he read every jump. He kept beating the air-to-airs. He somehow dodged like 3 projectiles that would have ended the game. And because of the fact that he kept avoiding those, it forced MoDzai to try and box with them. And that makes it easy as somebody who knows you're trying to kill me, and I'm going to be calling out those aggressive options very often. MoDzai missed the mark by just a little bit so many times, and I can only imagine, we can't see the player cams right now, but he's gotta be like running his hand through his hair, stressed about what just happened.
Probably. Honestly, what it really comes down to was that one bell he landed. I don't know if he just wasn't confident in the forward smash. I don't know if it was just a misplay, but he didn't forward smash. That would have closed out the set. And then just not landing that one crucial interaction to close it all out. It just became the Mr. R show after that. You let him live, and he punished you for it.
Gotta say, man, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and MoDzai hasn't moved the controller yet. That is 100% telling of how he feels right now. Like, after that game, you had a potential 3-1 victory over Mr. R, and it came down to the wire where Mr. R ran it back on you. That will get to you this deep in the bracket. But MoDzai has looked incredible this entire time. Mr. R also has looked incredible, possibly here with the reverse 3-0 as we get into the last game here to see who moves on winner's side.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And we're going to have to see if MoDzai can clean these grabs up just a little bit. I mean, he's gone for one already. He missed. No punish on it, thankfully. But Mr. R, you cannot be giving him free options. You can't not be giving him free damage, because we saw what happens when you give him a chance.
Absolutely. As we see, MoDzai consistently boxing out, but that time the fire hydrant finally hits MoDzai while he's just charging the fruit. Pretty much has gotten away with that for free every single time. And Mr. R calling out these jump skips. This is what we saw that worked so well on the last stock, and now Mr. R is basically taking away a lot of that significant air-to-air game that we saw, and reading the roll right there. This is a pretty bad start so far.
Yeah, this is a little rough. I mean, it's not the worst case scenario because, oh, trying to use the boost from the hydrant to actually go and chase MoDzai up there. I do like that attempt. Didn't find anything. And there we go. We're getting a grab and getting some good damage on there. Honestly, this is still a pretty solid game so far. Ooh, not going to be able to close out a stock. Okay. I respect this going for the damage.
Yeah, you get that extra damage on, especially with, Mr. R. You want to get him to the point where you get enough knockback that he has to go for something like up B instead of the air dodge to stage, because then you could possibly snipe the top portion of that up B with one of your items.
Okay, I like jumping from the ledge there, getting around the jab entirely.
I like the delay too. He didn't immediately go for it, so it made it look like, Mozai was gonna try and go get that grab as soon as it went away. But he actually got out of that, and right now Mozai gonna get the re-grab. This is one of the scariest situations in the game, but misses the bell and not gonna get anything out of it. This is, once again, we're already approaching the 5-minute mark very soon, where we haven't seen a stock loss yet.
Yep. Ooh, that's gonna be no! Oh my God, that's so unfortunate.
Doesn't move forward on the up smash. We've seen that in the past from other Pac-Man players as well, but that one is not gonna do it. That is now giving Mr. R another potential chance to get the first stock here.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they are a little stressed. That's like 3 melons in a row that Mr. R has gotten up at the perfect time to not get hit by that.
Yeah, many people in the world have been hit by that move and just confused because it's such a good, that is such a good move also to force air dodge. But Mr. R perfectly spaces the up B at the last second, then gets in and covers Mozai running away with the dash attack. Mr. R finally striking first here as we are reaching 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
You know, it looked like Mozai was kind of getting their mental back. Okay, gonna be able to close that stock out. I think they needed that because having an edge guard scenario, which just looked like it should have just happened, right? And you miss it, and Mr. R comes up and takes that stock. That could have just been absolutely like a defeating mentality at that point in time. But they came in, took that stock, put on some good damage here. All right, Mozai's 100% in this game. Ignore everything I just said.
Yeah, big damage. And also, when you talk about the mentality as well, normally we'd say like a very steel mentality coming from the veteran here in Mr. R, but people get nervous in bracket as well who have been around for a long time. And look at Mozai. Mozai now starting to run up on him, and you can see the energy has changed. Mozai is now calling out these jumps. Mozai is now recognizing that Mr. R is running away and is consistently been punishing him, but finally Mr. R finds a few openings to get this ledge trap once again.
Ooh, okay. Gonna land that up air, trying to chase him up after he throws out the hydrant. That's smart play. We've seen him land that a couple times now. But ooh, he does have a bit of rage here. Mozai needs to close out this stock as fast as possible. You do not want to let Krom run rampant because they kind of have nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. R is probably going to be looking for, there we go, a couple jabs, try to just put some pressure on shield. Mozai got the center stage, that's very important, but got smacked back off again. If Mr. R gets a good read here, looking for the roll in, tries to go for the side B, does not connect, and now Mozai's turn to try and go for the ledge trap. And that time finally hits an F tilt.
Yeah, I do like the F tilt. Ooh, and the melon usage gonna be able to close it out. 85% though. Could take the stock here very soon, but they gotta handle this Mr. R, who's coming in with so much anger, so much frustration, and taking it out on this stock.
And I gotta say, incredible adjustment from Mozai on the melon usage, because Mozai kept throwing it at roll distance before. That time backed off and threw it away. Now taking 56% to start here on the stock. Has Galaga in hand. Mr. R literally cannot move forward too quickly, because if he does, that's another 30+%. As he calls out the jump, he tries to go for a forward air. He tries to read him really hard on the neutral get up or the roll with the down smash. He misses, but luckily for Mozai here, did not die in that trade-off.
And there we go. We got that back air. 142. I mean, you do got 66% extra credit, but try to go for more if you can. Getting into the final stock situation here. Game 5. 66% is all that separates them.
2 minutes left on the clock, and that is a bell in hand. That is potentially the game. Misses the forward smash and wouldn't have killed, but would have put him so far off stage. Big damage coming in for Mr. R as he capitalizes, gets the throw, keeps the pressure on. What does Mozai do? He gets away, not getting hit by the nair. That allows him to reset, but currently Mr. R is just getting it that much closer to even.
Ugh. This is nerve-wracking. I can't imagine what Mozai is feeling at the moment. You know, both Game 4 and potentially Game 5 having such a strong lead. And now Mr. R might just be taking this all from you. He takes your bell. Never mind, gonna toss it away here.
Mr. R has now taken that energy that I said to shift it to Mozai away. Mozai has now been hiding in shield because this is it. This is game 5, last stock. This is possibly gonna be the person who moves on the winner's side. Both of them super scared. Bell in hand. This is very bad. You're gonna get shield pressured, and great job not jumping right there because Mozai wanted that jump so bad. And this is looking like it could easily go either way. I don't even know who to pick.
There's no way to know who's gonna win this right now. Look, you got Mozai trying to gets the bell, but trades with the forward air. Lucky for Mr. R. Gonna be able to live a little bit longer. Forward throw. Trying to see what the situation they can get at ledge. In the back there. Is that gonna be it? Oh my God, this is such a heartbreaker for Mozai. Oh no.
1 minute left on the clock, and Mr. R finally hits the mark of the back air, reading Mozai jumping from ledge. What an insane Game 5 set that came out from Mozai and Mr. R. Honestly, you were right. Very much a heartbreaker for Mozai. You saw that pause that happened before the last game, but still, credit where credit's due. Mr. R is a consistent player and somebody who's been known as a veteran for a long time for a reason. In situations like that, you have to be able to be the one that closes it out, gets your composure back together. But still, what incredible play from Mozai. Unfortunately for them, though, they did end up losing the reverse sweep there.
You know what? I gotta hand it to Mr. R, man, one of the best in the world for that exact reason we just saw right there. That was a tough match that just about 99% of the rest of the players in Smash would crumble under, right? Rose to the